Dmitri had been planning this trip for 3 months. That night, they watched the sun bleed into the horizon from their balcony. The next morning, over breakfast, Dmitri suggested, "Tomorrow we could take a bus to the old fishing town nearby. Narrow streets, local markets. I think you'd love it." Irina smiled, but her eyes flicked toward the pool area. "Maybe I'll just stay here. The pool looks amazing, and there are interesting people around." It was nothing, at least, that's what he told himself. The next day, he went alone. When he returned in the afternoon, he spotted her near the pool bar with a man he'd never seen before, tall, tanned, wearing expensive sunglasses, and a smile that seemed carved for mischief. "Dima," Irina called, waving him over. "This is Anton. He's from Ukraine too, but he's been living in Spain for years." Anton's handshake was firm, confident. His eyes held the kind of charm that didn't bother hiding its intentions. Dmitri smiled politely, but something in his stomach tightened. At 28, the quiet, methodical software engineer wasn't the kind of man who made grand gestures, but Irina changed that. She was 24, studying journalism, full of restless energy and light. Life, to her, wasn't something to simply maintain, it had to be lived, vividly. She loved new places, warm sand, cocktails by the ocean, music under the stars. And Dmitri, he wanted to give her all of it. He booked the tickets without telling her, found a seaside hotel with a balcony that seemed to spill directly into the horizon. He even scheduled a romantic dinner on their first night, candles, ocean breeze, a soft jazz trio playing in the corner. When he finally told her, she squealed, threw her arms around his neck, and kissed him like she used to in the early days. In that moment, he believed this trip might change everything for the better. The first day was perfect. They walked along the shore barefoot, the sand still warm from the afternoon sun. She took endless Instagram stories, her hair blowing in the wind, the waves foaming around her ankles. Dmitri held her hand, feeling her fingers squeeze back. On the third night, Irina said she wanted to go to the poolside party. The music, the lights, it was all part of the experience, she said. Dmitri didn't like loud parties, but he didn't want to be the boring boyfriend, so he went. The DJ blasted reggaeton, people danced under strings of fairy lights, and the smell of sweet rum drifted through the air. Irina disappeared into the crowd almost immediately. It didn't take him long to find her again. She was dancing with Anton. Her hands rested on his shoulders, his on her waist. She was laughing, her head tilted back, while he leaned in close to whisper something in her ear. Dmitri stepped forward. She noticed him and called out, "Oh, Dima, we were just dancing. You're not jealous, are you?" He forced a smile. Of course not. But his chest felt heavy. The next day, Irina said she wanted to go to the beach alone, to relax. Dmitri stayed behind, flipping through a book he couldn't focus on. By evening, worry gnawed at him. He went looking for her, weaving through narrow streets lined with souvenir shops and small beach cafes. That's when he saw them. They were in a quiet side alley, away from the crowd. She stood with her back to the wall, smiling at something Anton had just said. He leaned in closer. She didn't pull away. Then she kissed him. Not a quick, awkward kiss, not a friendly peck. It was slow, deliberate, the kind of kiss Dmitri remembered from their first months together, back when she looked at him the way she was looking at Anton now. His chest tightened so hard it hurt. He didn't confront them, didn't shout. He just turned and walked away, the sound of the ocean suddenly distant, drowned out by the pounding in his ears. That night, she came back to the hotel room as if nothing had happened. "How was your day?" she asked. Dmitri didn't look up from the balcony. "I saw you." She froze. "Dima," her voice was soft, almost guilty. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I just felt something." "And what about what we have? Was that nothing?" She didn't answer. The final 2 days passed in silence. She spent her time with friends she had met at the resort, Anton always among them. Dmitri sat by the shore, staring at the endless waves. He thought about the months he had spent planning, the quiet sacrifices, the way he had believed this trip would bring them closer. Instead, it had shown him just how far apart they already were. On the day they left, She didn't even suggest going to the airport together. He flew home alone. 7. What stayed behind? Back in his apartment, Dmitri unpacked his suitcase slowly. Her perfume still clung to the clothes. He realized something. He hadn't just lost her on that trip. He had lost the version of himself who believed love could be held together by effort alone. From now on, he wouldn't stand quietly while his heart was given to someone else. Irina became a memory, one framed against a burning sunset, on a beach that smelled like salt and betrayal.